Now tonight, the families of at least 11 protesters who were killed, injured or abducted during the June 2024 anti-government demonstrations may never get justice. This is according to a report released by the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions showing the dismal progress made in investigating and prosecuting the first 11 cases of police brutality during the demonstrations. 5 of the cases have been closed. 2 other cases have been referred to a public inquest, while the rest have been referred to the Independent Policing Oversight Authority, that's IPOA, for further investigations or are still under review at the ODPP's desk almost a year later. NTV's David Mudokwa begins our broadcast tonight.
After days of public scrutiny, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions has released a report showing the progress made in seeking justice on behalf of families who lost their kin during the June 2024 anti-finance bill demonstrations. In the report, the office has highlighted 11 cases of murder and injuries as a result of alleged police brutality that have so far reached the desk of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Renson Ingonga. Among them is the case of the late Rex Kanyike Masai. In the statement, the ODPP says, and I quote, "Due to the fact that the people who took Rex to hospital, including the key witness who was allegedly with him at the material time, had not come forth to record statements, and the fact that the CCTV footage did not clearly identify the person who pulled the trigger, the DPP referred the matter to a public inquest, which was filed on 15th October 2024. The ODPP has also highlighted the case of the late Evans Kiratu Karofia. The ODPP has stated, and I quote, "With no person having come forward to record any statement on the alleged assault and noting that he had no gunshot wounds, the DPP referred the matter to a public inquest, which was filed on 15th August 2024. Another case highlighted by the ODPP is that of the late Sami Kalen Maina. The ODPP says, and I quote, "Miner's body was on 9th June 2024 before the Gen Z protests recovered at the city mortuary with public organ injuries. The pathologist found that the injuries were consistent with a traffic accident. In line with IPOA's recommendation, the DPP directed that the IPOA inquiry file be closed as there was no evidence of police involvement, and in its place, the investigations be taken over by the police." Other cases of death or murder that have been closed are those of Franklin Ondwari, Emmanuel Giggs Tata, Lewis Mroso, and Tilan Odhiambo. Meanwhile, the death of Gianna Makelo Bonyo is still under investigation 10 months later. The ODPP has stated Obonyo reportedly suffered a gunshot wound at the lower back on 25th June 2024 while riding a bicycle in her parents' compound. At the time of receiving the file from IPOA, the subject bullet had not been released by the Kenyatta National Hospital K&H authorities to IPOA for ballistics examination. The DPP shall review the case and make further directions once the investigation file is resubmitted with the ballistics report. Other cases that are either under investigation, review, or have since been referred back to IPOA include the injury of Dominic Wanjala Mutua, a journalist who was hit with a tear gas canister, and the death of Andrew Mwawasi.
This statistic is not only underwhelming, it is well near proof of dereliction of duty.
It is the duty of every right-thinking citizen, especially those entrusted with the positions of power and service, to take urgent, deliberate and objective action to end the menace of extrajudicial killings.
David Mudokwa, NTV, Nairobi.